Grand Rising, guys. How are we today? Good, I hope. Welcome back. Today's word of the day, stogie. Original definition, shoe. New definition, cheap cigar. Conestoga wagons come from the city in which they were built in. The county in which they were built in at that time in Pennsylvania. Before they started trekking all the way around out in Kansas and the Dakotas, about 50 years before that, they were taming the Appalachians over here. And then they found their way up in the West, which at the time was actually Ohio. Fun fact, I'm originally from Ohio. These were the covered wagons that we think of in Oregon Trail. If you're a millennial or before, I believe like Ponderosa had them. I could be wrong. I haven't seen Ponderosa in many years. I feel like they had them though. I could be wrong. They were waterproof though when they were crossing streams, and I don't know if you know this, but those things could carry up to 8 tons of gear. That's a lot of stuff to be carrying back then. During the California Gold Rush though, which began around 1848, Conestogas were practically as common as grass. People did all kinds of things to them. They adorned them, they decorated them with whatever, they had. And the men who drove these Conestogas, because they were, constantly going through water and things like that, the shoes that they wore to keep their feet dry were super, super thick. And those shoes are where the word stogie originally came from, because they were so thick and waterproof. And then a few decades later, I don't know who, but they started referring to the cigars that the drivers smoked as stogies. And that's how we got the word for cigars. I do love a good cigar though. I think my favorites are Cuba Cubas and the Blondies. The Blondies are pretty good. I do like a good Maker's Mark though. I love you guys. Have a day.